Hello and welcome everyone again into another video. Today's video we'll talk about the two champions that were announced right like just a couple seconds ago that they got a huge buffs. He did damage. So what are those champions? Champion number one, Diamant Coppercoin and Androc. Now, as far as Androc, this champion has been on the buff list since forever. Like, this champion is probably the worst mythical, but sometimes it feels like this champion got a huge buff just by being so good in Chimera. He's like one of the best support, if not the best support in Chimera. Now, Diamond I'm so happy for this champion because I pulled him. He's a void mythical. I pulled him last week I pulled him 2 weeks ago on a void mercy, and it was so sad. Let me just show you those two champions. So Diamond is a Ogren. What is he? This guy. He just basically does nothing, to be honest. Like, he's supposed to be the champion that converts your debuffs into buffs. Like, whenever the opponent attempt to debuff you, but they didn't in a weird way. It has 50% chance to convert the debuff into a buff before it's placed on this champion. What the heck? And I think their argument was basically is that if it's an AoE, it will be placed on him, so it doesn't matter for the entire team. But there is another problem. Now we have Faction Hard, and in Faction Hard, they do switch buffs into debuffs on everyone, so you want that to happen. Let's just go through the buffs, and we will talk about them. So while Diamond Coppercoin, it's copper, Yasser. It's copper. Is inherently somewhat selfish and greedy. Yes, he's very selfish. He only cares about himself. Our goal was to boost this champion's team value. It's for the collective benefit of every ogre, not just you, Diamond. You can now be confident that bringing him in will benefit all team members. He will provide a more consistent turn meter, ensuring good value even when all buffs are removed. Speaking of buffs, his passive will now convert buffs, debuffs into buffs for an ally too, which is huge. He just removed him from some champion that is literally selfish, that only care about himself, into like, no, on everyone. This is certainly enough to declare I am a team player now. Don't you agree? Okay, we will go through the buffs after. Let's see what they want. Androc. With the rebalance, we aim to restore the lion's prowess, especially for his second form. I mean, like, let's be honest, guys. Androc is a super saiyan, okay? He's lion, and he hits like a wet noodle. So that just doesn't make sense. He's a super saiyan lion, okay? He must be one of the hardest hitting in the game, while simultaneously enhancing his utility with your team composition with increased damage output. This is all he needed, because if you guys don't know, like, Androc is like Mighty Uugo on crack. If you imagine Mighty Uugo on crack, you get Androc. But we expect more from a mythical, so when we want him to do more damage. We anticipate his strong performance as a secondary damage dealer in various PvE locations in his second form. You know what you need to do for this one? You need to improve Aphidus, man. Aphidus got buffed and he still sucks. His first form will serve as a more resilient team defender in arena. His passive now boosts the stats. Okay, this allows his flexible investment dealing stats, ignore defense sets, position him as a second damage dealer. Okay, let's go through the buffs and then we will talk about them. Really quick, guys, get yourself a free legendary Narma by clicking the link in my description. You will also get 3 amazing epics: Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage. All you need to do is, number 1, log out of Play and Play on your PC and uninstall it. Number 2, click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Number 3, launch raid and complete the tutorial. Number 4, go to your inbox and claim the champion. So don't miss out on the great chance to get Narma and 3 very strong epics. So make sure to click my link before it expires. Okay, as far as Coppercoin, it's not that big of a change, man. Why is it only 2 abilities? But hey, it's here. This ability, attack all enemy, increase the duration of all ally buff by 1 turn, fill the turn meter by 10%, fill the turn meter by additional 5% for each buff that had fill the turn meter, fill this champion's turn meter. This is the worst part about him. It's like he increased the buffs. Okay, and then he boosts his turn meter to do what? Like, what does he do? He doesn't do damage and he doesn't revive. So he's trying to boost his turn meter to get more turns and still do nothing. That was like his main issue. Fill this champion's turn meter by 10%. Fill the turn meter by an additional 5 5% for each buff that had its duration increased by this skill. Basically, if you build him in Relentless, you use his A3, you get an extra turn, you use A2, and then you get another turn. Like, you get enough fill turn meter to get to another turn. Now, what does it do? Attack all enemies, increase the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, fill the turn meter of all allies by 20%. This is so weak. This is still very weak. It's supposed to be 30%. Now, his passive, which used to be the worst part. 50% chance to convert a debuff into a buff before it's placed on this champion, works with the following debuffs. So any debuff that's supposed to be placed on him will have 50% chance to be switched into a buff. Decrease attack, increase attack, and here it goes. Now it's before it's placed on an ally, works with the following debuff. By the way, it doesn't affect weaken. It's not like what's the boss name, the Centranos boss, where like it switch like heal reduction into continuous heal, stuff like this. No, it's just like the damage one. Decrease attack, increase attack, decrease defense, increase defense, decrease speed, increase speed, decrease crit rate, increase crit rate, decrease crit damage, increase crit damage. Now this is not ideal, but it's a buff. No, he's a slightly better. As far as Androc now, let's see. Attack one enemy, place increased defense buff on all allies for 1 turn. This is one of a kind A1, to be honest. A1 that increased the defense on all allies. Now damage multiplier increased, right? His A2, increased resistance, strengthen, continuous heal. This is all the same. And now fill the turn meter of all allies by 15%. It's not a bad turn meter, to be honest, because this ability was already good, you know? You have 3 unique buffs. Increase each ally resistance by 10 for each buff on all allies. Okay, now it's each ally. That's actually good. Critical hits inflicted by allies fill the turn meter of all allies by 5%, occurs once per skill. And this was like the main signature thing about Androc. You use Androc in a team against the boss like Hydra, like Chimera. And what happened is that his passive, you build every champion you have crit cap. And every time one of your champions attack, it's a 5% turn meter to everyone. If you have Relentless on those, especially on your support in Chimera, you run Relentless, right? Every time you get a Relentless, it's a free fill turn meter for everyone. There are multiple champions the same. This one will be activated. I mean, nobody runs double of him because he doesn't do damage. So if you run 2, it's like you're kind of like handicapping yourself. But now I guess with the increased his damage output, there is an argument, or there was, but they already killed the argument here. Now his second form, which is supposed to be a damage dealer, his second form was supposed to be, you know, like a Lydia. Attack one enemy, 50% chance, decrease defense. This is a great A1, by the way. I think the only legendary that has it is basically Queen of Heart. That's pretty much it. Other than that, it's only limited to mythic, where like they can decrease defense on 100% chance. It's not even 100% chance, it's 50% chance on a high chance on A1. Damage multiplier increase. This is good because he's supposed to be a damage dealer. This is the lion form, not the human form. His A2, attack all enemies, place decrease resistance, weaken, enfeeble. Now the problem with this one is that enfeeble is useless against bosses, and this champion is a PvE champion, so it's like, why am I using it, you know? Attack all enemy, place decrease resistance, weaken, enfeeble. Enemies have 50% HP or less. Enfeeble can't be removed. Also decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. This is weak. 15% is weak. I mean, it's like usually, you know, like 20 or 30. 20 if it's weak, 30 if it's to make the ability better. Damage multiplier increased. I mean, this is not gonna work against bosses, but I guess it has some play into wave content. The issue about 15 is like, usually when it's weak, when it's like something like 20%, it's like it comes with decreased speed. I mean, even something like Necmo. What does Necmo have? What is Necmo Thar? Decreases. Oh, does he decrease turn meter? No, it's just decreases speed. Yeah, increase the speed and fill by 30%, but his passive does that. His A3, it's a strip, then attack all enemy. If the target is a boss, the damage inflicted equal to 10% of their max HP. So now he does have an enemy max HP hit, where like this ability used to hit, I think, around 5% of the target max HP. For each buff removed, this damage cannot be critical. It's a enemy max HP. This was like so weird to do. It was like, dude, just make it something like we understand, right? Damage multiplier increase, also place block buffs. So this form, like, think of him as a Lydia, decrease defense, weaken, block buffs. I mean, Lydia has also fear and block active skill. So I was hoping that they give him either block active skill or fear, because he's supposed to be, you know, like the the Lydia Mythical. His passive, increase each ally's accuracy by 10 for each buff on all enemies. I don't care about these passives because you're always gonna build your champions with enough accuracy. So these type of things doesn't matter. Each critical hit decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 5%. This doesn't work against bosses. There are multiple champions on the same on the same team. This skill only one will be activated. His speed is now 110. So the increase in speed, pretty much the biggest buff, to be honest. Expect him to do damage now. Well, like, he wasn't able to do some damage. Now let's go and see some of our sacred bandas that did some insane keys with it. See how much. So this is a fully awakening on cruelty. He did million damage. Holy man, he's so bad. Fetal, see, like Fetal, he did the same as Fetal, man. This is a mythical, fully awakened on cruelty. I don't know, man. This game sometimes does questionable stuff. Let's see this key. So Fetal even did more hits. So this is kind of like, dude, like, what the heck, man? With all due respect, Claria, please, man. 9 million damage, dude. Another key, maybe hit +1. Never mind, did half of Fetal damage. So I guess it can appreciate a buff. So now with this buff, what do we expect? So he's doing 10 million damage. He's gonna do 40 million damage. That's what happened with Aphidus. When they buffed Aphidus, he was doing 10 to 20 million damage. He was able to do 4 times the damage. It's still a low number, by the way, even after the buff. So expect him to do 40 million damage now. Let's see a Hydra key. If someone used Androc, why would anyone use Androc, to be honest? Yeah, no one actually used Androc, let's be honest. He's good in Chimera, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, thanks so much everyone for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. What do you guys think before we head out? What do you guys think of these buffs? Were they enough buffs, or they felt like they just want to buff something and they just, you know, okay, just increase the output damage and that's it? So yeah, I'm about to head out. So enjoy the rest of your day, night, or whatever you're having. Peace.